Hi everybody, welcome back to A Better Computer. My name is Matt, and today we're going to be looking at Carrot Weather 5, which just hit the App Store. So this is just my first look at the app. It just came out this morning, so I've literally been using it for about an hour, and I wanted to share kind of my first impressions of the app. And I wasn't going to do this, like this channel is mostly about productivity, it's not necessarily about weather apps, but I think Carrot Weather is particularly unique, and I wanted to show it off because it adds this really cool feature that I think really sets it apart from everything else that's out there. So let's take a look. So I'm going to launch the app. It's got a slightly updated icon, but I'm just going to launch the app, and you can see a view that's pretty similar to what you're used to with Carrot, but it's slightly different. So you don't have kind of the 7-day forecast down on the bottom. Instead, you have kind of the same things up top. They're slightly new design. But what you have are these cards here. And so we have like sunset is in 8 hours and 51 minutes. I have a full moon tonight and 11-mile-an-hour gusts for the next hour. And so this is the first thing I wanted to show, in addition to the new design, which is just kind of cleaned up, more modernized, flatter, I guess, is the way to describe it in one word. But these cards are really a cool thing in that Carrot is going to try to surface interesting weather data to you based on what's going on. And so if I tap into sunset, which isn't super interesting, which just means it's kind of a boring weather day, frankly, I can see, okay, sunrise was at 7:10, it'll be setting at 5:02, and then here's all the other stuff. Like there's tons of data here, there's some information about sunrise and sunset, a link to a Wikipedia article, and that's how it goes for everything. For the full moon, I can see all of that, and then for wind speed, I can see a timeline of what's going to happen with the wind over the next day, basically, or I can go over the next week. And so for these things that are interesting, I'll show you how they're determined to be interesting in a second, but you can see a lot more details about those things, but you also see just on the main page some interesting stuff. So every time you launch the app, in theory, you're going to see something different because whatever the weather's doing that day is going to be novel in different ways. We've also got the 7-day forecast down here, and you see more cards in very similar fashions. They show interesting things about the week's weather, though, not just today's. So those are the same deal. 6.8 inches of snow for this week. That's going to be fun. Looks like Saturday and Sunday we're going to have a lot of snow around here. So that's something to keep an eye out for. And then down here at the bottom, this is the thing that really gets me excited about Carrot Weather 5, is I can customize the layout. So if I tap into that, you can see this whole customization screen, and you can also do this by going to just the settings tab and going to customization. And in here, we have tons of views. So there's a whole bunch of presets here. You can kind of go through them and see what you like. There is one called Chronos that is a replication of the Carrot Weather 4 UI. So if you liked that, you can still have that. This is basically replicating that. I'm going to cancel. I don't actually want that one. What you can do is you can select these other ones, like Siren is clean. Like this is a totally different look for Carrot, but is a thing that you can do. And then this interface maker is the thing that really just blows me away. So if I go into this, I can change settings for everything. So I have the current observations at the top, and I can show different styles here. I can show the weather, I can show it plain, I can show an icon or not. Like there's tons here I can do. So if I just say the weather, let's go back and save it, and I go back to the main page, then that visual is gone, the landscape that it shows you is gone, so now it's simplified. If I go back to the interface maker and tap in again, I can do it plain, go back, save, and now it's plain. There's no anything there. It's much more simple. So you can really customize it to your liking. Additionally, I can change the spacing between these components. So I could make it large if I want, and go back, save, main page. And so there's a little more spacing there. That's really into the weeds. You probably don't have to do that. But if I go into plus, I can add a component. So look at all these components I can add to the interface. Let's see, maybe I want to add a temperature summary, right? And so now that's going to show between my temperature, my current observations, and the hourly forecast. I can change the spacing there. I can add more things. I can delete that thing. I can move the cards that are here. I can move them above the hourly forecast. Maybe I actually do want that. Maybe I do want those higher on the page so I can see the interesting stuff, then see the forecast coming up. You can customize everything. You're basically building your own weather app, which for me is absolutely amazing. It is the best thing I've ever seen in a weather app, and one of the best features I've seen in any app, period. Like, this reminds me of, in a weird way, it reminds me of Notion, because Notion kind of lets you build these custom interfaces to kind of build the UI that you want in Notion in some ways. This is that, but much more refined and much it's more limited, I guess. Like, you're not obviously building like task management systems in here, but like you're building the weather app that you want, and that's pretty remarkable. And so they have these presets that you can start with, or you can start from scratch. You can even hide the tab bar if you want. I actually want to see the tab bar. You can show the high and low temperatures there in the bottom left. You'll see that in the tab bar if you'd like. There's tons going on here. And so all of this is available to you. I'm going to save. This is all available. By default, the app actually dribbles this out over 3 days. So on day 1, when you install the app, you have a couple options available. On day 2, they unlock a few more customization options. And on day 3, you get everything. You can hit a button to just skip and say, show me everything right now. They don't recommend it because it's a lot to kind of wrap your head around. And I'm still wrapping my head around it too. But there's so much here. It's pretty remarkable. So major props to Carrot for having all of this customization. There's other things in the app that are new that kind of updated the not the friendly personality, the missions that they have here, so you can kind of do that in this own tab now. Maps are still here, obviously, and have weather data here, precipitation specifically. And then the other thing I wanted to touch on are the premium subscription stuff that you have. Basically, if you already paid for a subscription to Carrot, that is carried over. You're called a legacy member of some sort. And so that just means that you still get all the benefits you had, you still get all the features, you didn't lose anything in this update, but there are more things that are in the app that you don't have access to. Specifically, there's some stuff around notifications, like lightning strike notifications, that sort of thing, are only available if you do one of the premium ultra subscription. There's premium plus. There's a little more stuff here and there that you can get with these bigger ones, but basically if you were already paying for Carrot, you didn't lose anything in this upgrade. There's just more things you can get if you want to pay more. So that's up to you if you want to pay more. You don't necessarily have to. I don't think I will. I think that what I see here is more than enough. Like I said, those customization features are absolutely insane, and I plan on tweaking this exactly to my liking. I look forward to seeing on social media what other people post, but yeah, that is Carrot Weather 5. There's a few other little features, but like that interface builder, that's everything. I love that. So that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you here next time. Bye-bye.